Hello everyone, my name is Anshika Jain and I am working as a legal intern in Lexis and Law Company for the month of July. I hope all of you are amazing and staying safe. So I am back with a new topic. As you have already read the headline, what today I am going to discuss. I'm going to discuss today about FIR. All you need to know about it. So let's discuss what is FIR, what's this acronym stands for. So FIR means a first information report. It is defined under section 154 of Code of Criminal Procedure 1973. So first let's discuss what is FIR. So this abbreviation FIR stand, as I already said, stand for first information report. The term first information report refers to the information presented by an aggrieved party or any other individual to a police officer on duty. Section 154 of the Code of the Criminal Procedure 1973 provides for the filing of the first information report. Now the next question which arises is that who can file the FIR? So it is not essential for the victim or any other first-hand witness or eyewitness to file the initial information report in order to file the FIR. Any individual, they can file the FIR. A first information report can be filed by anybody, not just those with the complete knowledge of the facts. Even it can also be filed by the hearsay witness. Now let's discuss the next question, that is where FIR have to be filed. A first information report can be filed at the police station in the area where the incident took place, or the police station under whose jurisdiction the alleged criminal activity took place. It is very critical to file the FIR report under the authority of the police station so that an inquiry can be conducted without wasting any further time. So also the first information report or the FIR is filed according to the section 154 of the CRPC 1973. Now let's understand what exactly the section 154 says. So it says that every piece of information supplied by a person about a crime, it must be written down by the police officer. Even though the information is written and supplied by the informant, it should be handled by the police officer in a way in which it is mandated by the state government. So these documents must be signed by the person who provided them. Second, that if the person providing them, they cannot deny from signing these documents. Refusal of the informant to sign the FIR can also be held as a punishable under section 180 of the IPC. It is also the duty of the officer to provide the copy of the first information report free of the cost to the person who filed the FIR. If a police officer denied to file any of the FIR, it is the duty of the informant to post the information in writing to the superintendent charge of the police of the cognizable offence. Then the police officer can also investigate the offence or direct his or her subordinate to investigate this cognizable offence. Now the next question is there any time duration to file the FIR? So yes, there is no set of time for submitting the FIR report. It is recommended that the FIR should always be filed as soon as possible in order to be more effective and handled by the appropriate police officer. And it also depends on the discretion of the judge from case to case to decide the time if there is delay in the first information report. However, as previously stated, there is no feasible time limit for applying the reasonable test to the filing of an FIR. It always depends on the facts and circumstances of each and individual instance. Now let's discuss some of the various important case laws relating to an FIR. So first important case law that we have is Damodar Das versus State of Rajasthan. So according to this case, it was held that if the information regarding the cognizable offence is conveyed to the police officer on the telephone, it will not constitute as an first information report. So you have to appear in a physical mode, then only you can file the FIR. The next case was Dharmarama Bhagare versus State of Maharashtra. According to this, an FIR is never recognized as a substantive piece of evidence. It may only used to verify or contradict its creator when he appears in court as a witness. So I hope various questions we have already discussed. Now to summarize it, we can conclude by saying that Any individual with the knowledge of a cognizable offence can inform the police in their jurisdiction. Such information it must be reduced to writing by the police officer. The signature of the informant is very much required. If a police officer refuses to register an FIR, the agreed person, they can even send this information to superintendent of the police by the polite letter. The sanctity of an FIR is produced shortly after an incident occurs. When the individual delivering it has a fresh memory of an incident will be heightened. FIR must also be avoided during the inquiry. So I hope all of you have understood what exactly an FIR is. Thank you very much for listening me so carefully. Thank you very much. Always keep smiling.